All right, everyone, welcome back to Align Trading. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed the holiday. Took some time off last week with that, so we were not present during the day, but we're going to kind of go over everything that went on, as well as what to be watching from here on out into next week. First thing I want to talk about before going into any of the algorithms or structure here is how we initially got here from FOMC, this dump that we had. Now, with this bottom that was put in, we did not quite fill the gap, which you can see was from the election, and we are just short of that gap fill. So be watching if this does hold as the bottom here. You can see we reached the bottom Bollinger Band as well, so you should not be shorting this anyways. However, we are now at an important point. You can see we rejected the 20-day moving average right here, but we did regain this 5-day, so we need to watch this 5-day into next week, whether or not we can keep this as resistance, and if so, watch for this bottom Bollinger Band to open up and maybe some sort of downtrend here further. First target will be that gap, and then if that gap does not hold, then you can look for this inverse cup to fully close right here. Now, in the case that the 5-day is able to hold right here, you can see we had this strong buying, but again, could not hold above that 20-day. But these are getting closer together. And when that happens, right, you're going to see a larger move. You can see these are together. We get this move up. Same thing, right? Big move up. Same thing, right? 5 and 20 get closer together. You see that inverse head and shoulder, and we push up to the upper Bollinger. So if we hold this 5-day and regain the 20, you can see how this is just a larger inverse head and shoulder. You'll look for this cup to close, and then from there, push back to the upper Bollinger. Now, real quick, just before we continue, this will be the last time I mention it, but on January 1st, I am increasing prices, but anyone who was a member prior to January 1st will remain with the lifetime rate that it is at currently. I've seen a few of you have joined from the last video where I announced it, so thank you to those of you who are members, and looking forward to seeing more of you in this new year. So for those of you who are new here, I just want to show you kind of some perspective, even here on Friday with just the levels chart, not even me annotating the algos throughout the day, even though you can see this algo very clearly right here. You have that inverse cup and handle, as well as head and shoulder. Just this move alone within these two candles is $25 on a single contract, which would pay for your entire month. Now, I know it is not just going to be that easy, but again, for those of you who do this every day with us here, they do understand the power of this. Again, another move that you have right here, a double top, inverse cup and handle, and just these few candles pays for the membership in itself, but you have to be disciplined, have to be patient. But back into the charts now, so we can kind of go over a recap the day after this FOMC right here. You see how we have that yellow tapering algo along with this blue. Now we did start with a gap down, but you see how that recovery forms, and you have that inverse head and shoulder right there grabbing all of that liquidity. Now again, you see this same yellow and blue algo right here that starts to work, and you have that inverse head and shoulder again. You have that cup. Now you did not get the chance for a handle right here with that yellow and blue once again, but you see that continuation until we start to see some sort of tapering right here. Can't get back above this level right here, which is holding that as a resistance. And you see this gap down here on Friday. And so you're looking for this inverse cup to close. See, it closes that first level. We form a handle, and then once again reach another level. Did not quite reach this prior support, which would have been a good area, but into Monday, we will be looking to see if this handle does take us down to that level. And then from there again, right, breaking out of this white algo, we can start to close that inverse cup back at that low. Now, have to be careful because, again, like I talked about with the 5 and 20-day moving averages right here, you see how we can easily turn this into support right there, reach that 20, and then grab this liquidity, watch for that cup to close, and us breaking out of that blue and yellow algo here with some sort of handle if we do want to start grabbing that prior liquidity and not turning this into a resistance. You can also see how we are still within this yellow controlled selling right here. And if we zoom out here on this larger 30-minute, you see how we have this yellow and blue controlled selling algo right here. So you have to pay attention as we are back with inside it, and you see how this could start to form. Otherwise, we do need to see that 5 and 20 remain as resistance, and in the case that that does happen, you see how we have that inverse cup, and you need that handle with that resistance off the 5, and from there can start to head down like I talked about, and then ultimately would want to see this gap close if we lose that level right there. So the big thing here on Monday is going to be watching this area along with the 5-day. Watch if maybe there is some sort of range here before we do get that move above or below. Now, I do just want to go back over the 1-minute chart here, looking at some more microstructure and algorithms, give you guys a refresh ahead of next week. So we already talked about this algo up here that we saw with the tapering and the microstructure that formed here. But again, right, you can see how you have this same algo right there as well. And you see that there is this algo again, right, head and shoulder, inverse cup and handle. You see the inverse cup close that we talked about. And then once again, right, same algo right here as well. Got to be paying attention to that. And then from here, you also see how we have this tapering algo as well. Now, we cannot break out of it here quite yet and begin to close that cup, grabbing this liquidity, but you see how we begin to build this right here, still tapering, right, holding these levels, and we form this inverse head and shoulder off of it, as well as that cup and handle within it. Once again, right, another inverse head and shoulder, you get the cup close, right, another handle like we talked about with that algo, another cup, same handle, and you see that controlled selling on the way up. We reach this level right here. Got to pay attention to that. Have to see the structure there and why this is a possible point where we can find some more sellers. And with that, you can see how we have this controlled selling here, trying to build this handle, but we ran out of time here at the end of the day. Was just able to get that cup close again before again, right, trying to build another handle for the breakout. But there even was a scalp to the downside here. You see that head and shoulder that starts to form. You even have that inverse cup and handle, head and shoulder right there. So just a scalp that you could have been looking for, right? Could have protected at this level right here, maybe even got a bit more before it formed that inverse head and shoulder again within that controlled selling algo that we talked about. And you can see working right here this entire way up. Now, I will be back in the Discord in the mornings next week, but again, into the end of the year, as well as the holiday with New Year's, taking a bit of time off, right? Not going to be on all day, but we are going to get some trades in this week. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see members in the morning.